My name is 88 Keys. I'm from New York. New York, the city's so nice, they had to name it twice. And what I do is I make beats and make rhymes, and I sing and I DJ. A lot of people think I'm a new jack into the industry right now, but I've been in it for about like 10 years, 15 years or so. My debut album, The Death of Adam, which I'm now featured as an artist, as well as, producing the entire album myself. It's executive produced by Kanye, who's also featured on the first single, Stay at Viagra. It's a concept album about this dude Adam who basically thinks with the wrong head. And he winds up into some trouble. My first start in music came from a song which I thought was a weird rendition of Brand Nubian's Wake Up, Everybody Loves the Sunshine mix. But I also heard other parts of the song that I felt like could have been used for a hip-hop song somehow. When I was 15 years old, I met Q-Tip, who was like my hero back then and my hero to this day. Tip told me to get a sampler. Didn't tell me anything about a sequencer, but he told me to get a sampler. Then just started making beats from there. Kanye and I, we met in 2001 at Baseline Studios, which is more commonly known as the Rockefeller Studio. I told him who I was, and he was just like, oh, what's up, yo, you 80 Keys? Because he was a fan of mine because of the Most Def project, Black on Both Sides, of which I produced. I produced 2 full songs and then co-produced the 3rd song. Back then, I had 2 raps in my catalog, so then I bust my rap. Then he did his, then he went again, and then I went and I was done. And he just kept going. I was like, oh man, you pretty dope. So then the studio was shutting down. Everybody was going home and stuff to their respective places and stuff. And I noticed like when we were both walking to the same train station. So I'm thinking like, okay, Baseline Studios is located in New York City. Not too far from Penn Station. So I'm thinking, all right, he's gonna, he probably lives somewhere in the city, like Queens or Brooklyn or whatever. And I lived in Newark, New Jersey at the time. So, I have to take a certain train, a certain route, or whatever. So I noticed like he's kind of like following me and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I'm thinking he's gonna part ways, and he's gonna take his train, and I'll take my train, and we wound up on the same train. So he lived in Newark as well, but he lived in downtown Newark, next to the train station, and I lived all the way on the other side. So the following day, and we were kind of like bugging out that we both lived in Newark. And then the following day, he came over to my crib. We played, of course, brought him into my studio, my makeshift studio. Played him a bunch of beats and stuff like that, and stuff I was working on. Then we still chilling. I had the PlayStation 1. Played PlayStation, watched DVDs, and we just pretty much hung out all day. And then the following day, I went down to his crib, and we pretty much did the same thing. And then we just been rocking together ever since. Like, been helping each other out with stuff, and inspiring each other to make beats and stuff like that. Then funny things, like we both started coming up at the same time. Like, well, starting to get money around the same time. And he hit the lick. I believe I forgot what he did, but he made some serious change, and I did too, off of a bunch of production that I did, So then we both moved, but we both stayed in New Jersey. So I wound up moving to Jersey City, which is on the border of Hoboken. That's where my apartment was, my loft, my duplex loft. That's how much money I made. I made a lot of money. And then and he moved to Hoboken, into the T building. Now the thing is, the town of Hoboken is 1 square mile, so then we were like down the block from each other, basically. So we always wound up staying close to each other, and I remember the first time I met his mother, rest in peace. Like before we made that change and that move together. I met his mother, and his mother, I guess, drove down from Chicago to New York, or to Newark, New Jersey, and she kind of pulled me to the side one day. I guess Kanye was like making beats in the room or whatever, and she was like, Kanye speaks really highly of you all the time, like, and he when he speaks about you, he speaks with excitement and saying that you're a really good person, and and stuff like that. So she wanted to extend herself to me, saying like, she really appreciates that I'm a good person to her son. The advice that I have is stick to your guns. Stick to your guns if your guns are blazing. Yo, what's up? This is 88 Keys, and you are watching me on KarmaloopTV.